toxin, so we rejected anything above 20 parts per billion. Then I talked about salmonella, nutritional delivery. So pet food is very similar to baby food in one way, or probably more than one way, but one way. Anybody know what that might be?
Soft.
What's that?
Very soft.
I mean, yeah, it can be, yeah. So pet food and baby food are very similar in that formula is like the only thing that an infant will receive for a period of time. Pet food is maybe the only thing that the pet eats. So like, if I bring home a bag of pet food, I would only feed out of that bag. So if that bag does not have all of the nutrients that required for my dog's health is gonna suffer. Or if it has too much of something, like vitamin D can be toxic if there's too much, then you can actually become toxic to the animal. So the pet food bags have to be nutritionally complete, or you actually risk very serious adverse health effects. Whereas humans, like potato chips, don't have to be nutritionally complete because you eat other things. You don't live exclusively off of potato chips. So basically, this becomes a bit an actual product safety risk for us. And then the last one's for metal. We have metal detectors in every line with magnets throughout the process. This is an actual kickoff from a metal detector. That's a piece of metal, sharp metal embedded in a kibble. It was the last, we think it came in probably in one of the ingredients. And it missed all of the magnets, screeners, but we did catch it on our last line of defense, which is our metal detectors. So we create all the cleaning standards, we do pest control. That's some of the most stored pest products that we continually have to fight. Supply chain, if you store food and all, and you get into supply chain management, those pests are horrible. And it feels like that the pressure just becomes more and more. I don't know if it's what it is, if the growing cycle is longer now, like it's staying warmer, but it just feels like we are constantly battling and having to seal our warehouses. It's crazy. But anyway, and then traceability from ingredients to customers is part of our job. Like, so this is a date code on the bag, but it tells everything I need to know about the product. So it tells when it was produced, what factory it was produced at, the time it was produced, the line it was produced on, the time down to the minute. So then I can take that bag. And so everything we do from like when the ingredients are received in, when they're batched, so on and so forth, it's scanned and all electronic. So I can tell, okay, this bag that we produced at 09:52 on line 9, I can trace it back and tell you exactly which load of corn went in it, or which load of chicken byproduct went in it. So we need to be able to do that so that we can trace it back to Cargill and the customer, or trace it back all the way to the supplier. Testing equipment, the bag tester, biosecurity. You wouldn't think that biosecurity would impact pet food, but you never know. It's basically somebody wanting to deliberately adulterate food, and so we have to make sure that we are fully fenced, we have guards, everything's locked. Hygienic design, making sure that any equipment we install can be cleaned properly, and like I said, the inspections and audits. So as far as day in the life, I just put this up here. I mean, there's only a few things that I do every day. Kind of talked about a little bit of it. I come in, I review the KPIs for the previous day, which is key performance indicators, like the measures, the numbers that happened the previous day. So how much whole product did we have? Did we have any metal detection events? What were our environmental swab results? I check in with my team. There's a daily operational review where all the departments come together and talk about what happened the previous day and if we need to take any actions or do anything. LOSF stands for leadership on the shop floor, so I try to be out on the floor at least an hour every day talking to different associates. I showed my team, like my 25 employees, their part of my department, but I deal with the factory operators more than I deal with my own team. Because they're the ones producing, so we have to make sure that they are testing, because they do a lot of the testing too. They can't be chewing gum out on the line, they can't be, it's a lot of coaching to make sure they're performing to standard as well. And then everything else is different every day, so like today I was at one of our offsite warehouses because we had a customer return and we needed to look at the product to see why they returned it and investigate that. The previous day we had some out of spec swab results in processing, and so we were doing some problem solving around that. The previous day, it is, one thing that is great about the job is that it changes every single day. One day is never like the next. Any questions so far?
Has anybody told you that this seems like very much like a military schedule? Like you have 3 shifts, you have meetings every day, it's very structured.
No, I haven't heard that before, but we do have a lot of military that actually work at the factory. Our factory manager, we have a lot of managers, we just celebrated a Veterans Day lunch on every shift, and there's a lot of employees. That's interesting that you would say that. I believe it. It's very standards based. Yeah, everything we do pretty much has a process or procedure.
That's what I was gonna ask. With you guys having like so many different like dog food and like cat food SKUs, like how do y'all go about like producing it? Is like there a certain line that produces that, or do you guys like produce this in the beginning shift and like this at the night shift?
That's a great question. So almost everything we produce can be produced on the same
Cause like I say, cause like I get the chicken and rice with like the little big pieces of meat.
shreds, yeah. So that is actually a special bank, bank. Nestle uses a ton of words and acronyms, and so I use them. So if I say anything that you don't understand, please stop me. But that is a special extruder. So extruder is basically, the product is cooked in an extruder, and I think cereal's cooked this way too, but it's like a big,
Like dries up the meat or whatever.
well, it's like a big cylinder, and there's like a screw inside that pushes it through, and so like it has heat and friction and pressure, and so it cooks it very quickly, and it comes out the end of the extruder, kind of like if you guys ever play with Play-Doh and it has that thing that you squish it out and it comes out making the shapes, that's exactly what it's like, only very fast, and then there's like this spinning knife at the end that's just cutting it off, and it's so fast that you can't even see it unless you use like a strobe light, and if you use a strobe light you can actually see it coming out and puffing out, but that's a special, the shred, the bigger meat piece is a special extruder. Every other dry kibble we make can be produced on any of the other extruders. That's the only one that has to be special. But yeah, so we can produce most of our products on the same equipment. We just change formulas, we change die caps, which is, the die cap is the actual, what makes the shape, like the Play-Doh that comes out. We change the, like what types of ingredients we apply to it, but almost all of it can be made on the same equipment. Okay, so I just threw in some an actual problem-solving example that we've done. It doesn't have a lot of like, yes, I have a green belt, but I will be honest, so like half the battle of problem solving is getting the right people in the room that know, because it seems like there's, the maintenance manager knows this part, and the IS manager knows this part, and the controls manager knows this part, and the production manager knows this part, and so you get them all on this, and like we're trying to solve a problem on a process that has all of those things, and so nobody knows everything, and so you get them all in the same room, and that's half the battle. And then there's, most of what we do is like the 5 whys, brainstorming, fishbone. I do use control charts. What else do we use? A lot of it, and then just really understanding the right questions to ask. Like, what data do we need to solve this? Trying to look at it sort of like, okay, how can we get more information to tell us what we're trying to figure out? So this is a real problem. It was relatively simple to solve, but basically we were getting mixed chow complaints. So mixed chow means that there was the wrong product mixed with another product. So the product is supposed to be just this brown kibble, but this is an actual consumer picture. This is not supposed to be in there. So this brown kibble is ProPlan Performance, and unfortunately too, this is one of our most expensive products. Like breeders use this product, and so if you get anything in there at all, they don't like it at all because they're paying a lot of money for this guy. So these were actual consumer complaints we were getting. It was mixed with chow. So just to give like a high level process flow of how to make pet food, we batch it, so that means like you take all of the ingredients and you mix them all together, so all the raw ingredients, you mix them all together. And then it goes through the extrusion process, and this is, again, that big pressure cooker. So it comes out, you cook it, you form the kibble, it comes out, we spread it on a big dryer, and it dries the product. So it makes it kind of hard, it comes out soft, makes it hard. Then we apply coating and fat to the outside, so we call that